skincare saved my life.
Once I got pregnant, my hormonal acne went away.
Wow.
Did you end up getting any stretch marks?
All over my butt.
Oh.
Like when I meet a woman's like, I love being pregnant, I'm like, I want to know everything. Why?
Hi everyone, welcome to The Essence of It All by me, Charlotte Cho. Today we have a very special guest, Amanda Telligen. And actually, she's our very first guest ever. So you're making history now.
Amazing.
So Amanda, I first found your content because I was scrolling through TikTok, being a crazy mom that I am, just like trying to get my time back at night. And I saw your hilarious TikToks about like different products that you're using for your son. And then I just organically fell in love with all your vulnerable and raw content. How did you get started on it? Started on TikTok.
Well, I've been a model for almost 15 years. And so when I got pregnant, I pretty much lost my job because it's hard to do both as you're growing a human. And so I had all this time that I never had, but I've always been creative. And I was like, I'm going to either drive my husband insane or myself. I need to do something with this. So I started just posting on TikTok. And I was like, everybody does this. I hated being pregnant. I had an okay pregnancy, but I hated it. And I was like, I'm just going to come on here and complain and find people who are pregnant. I had no friends that were pregnant. And so I just kind of used it as a creative outlet and
finding community
and just a place to express myself and no expectations. And it kind of took on a life of its own, and to be honest.
And I think when you really have no agenda and you're just there to be yourself, I think that's when it takes off the most. So that's exactly how I feel as a viewer of your content. So one of the things that I noticed was that you started talking about your routine, just a real raw explanation of like how you get ready in the morning and how it's so crazy. But then you started incorporating Korean beauty products. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, that's when I perked up. I was like, wow, we have a lot in common, or we have a lot of similar interests. Yeah. And then so I reached out to you and then we started talking about Korean beauty. And what was like that thing that got you into Korean skincare? Was it an influencer or was it an ad that was served to you? Like, I'm just curious.
Googling. I was Googling because I was like, I needed an exfoliator that was non-toxic. And so I'm like on Google, I'm on Reddit, I'm doing all the things, I'm looking everywhere. And then I had found Some by My and the Miracle Toner. And I was like,
the classic.
Yes. I mean, I have an emotional connection to that toner because it was the first one for me where I was like, I needed to change out the one that I was currently using, but I wanted something that was going to work. So I tried it and I was like, okay, I need to follow this path.
Let me guess, it helped you with your acne?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Helped with my acne. It cleared my pores. I was really suffering all around here when I was pregnant and then right after I had my son. It was just, and lots of hyperpigmentation as well.
Yeah, classic signs of hormonal acne,
yeah,
for sure. And I think it's really about the gentle exfoliants that are in that toner that I think helped you the most. And trust me, we're all fans of the Sun by Me Miracle Toner. It's called Miracle Toner for a reason.
Yeah,
and it is affordable and accessible. I think that's what most people that go into the KBD hole in the journey of that is that it's really gentle, effective, and then you're not paying an arm and a leg. Once I hit 30, I started experiencing a lot of hormonal acne. It was like a switch.
Yeah.
And I was like, where did this come from? And then I started really focusing on getting rid of the hormonal acne. Once I got pregnant, my hormonal acne went away.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey. I was like, oh, this is nice. But yeah, so it was pretty smooth, but I also did not like being pregnant. I'm very similar to you where some people are the reverse of me, but for me, I really didn't like being pregnant.
Yeah.
It was...
They love it. Some people love it. Like when I meet a woman's like, I love being pregnant, I'm like, I want to know everything. Why? I have so many questions. And I just think it's like, it just depends. It's neither good nor bad to me. Yeah. It's just like some people enjoy, some people don't. I did not.
So I was dreading it. Even when I got second, I was like, and it's not like I had a lot of morning sickness at all.
Same. Yeah, I didn't.
I just like being pregnant.
Me, but...
And so the second one, there was some little like anxiety over it, but then I was like, I had to do it. And can you walk me through a little bit more of like the challenges you had with your skin during pregnancy and after pregnancy, other than breakouts?
Yeah, I think that I basically didn't know what to do. My skin was always dry or it was too oily. And I feel like because I was using all kinds of products before, I just realized that I didn't actually have any issues before. So I could put whatever I wanted on my skin and my skin would be fine. So it was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
And so what I kind of took it back to basics and I was like, we're going to exfoliate and we're going to moisturize and that's it. And I just need to focus on things that are going to actually clear my pores and actually moisturize my skin. So I started back from like ground zero of like, where do we go from here? And from that
point, when it got clear.
Then it started to clear up because it was, that balance was what I needed. And so then I've just like over, I guess now the last like year and some, I've built upon that whole vibe to build my routine.
That's perfect. That's exactly what I would recommend for anyone going through your situation when you have breakouts. It's like, you can't do everything. You can't do all of the above. You can't get glowing skin plus.
Yeah.
You gotta take care of the acne, treat that, and then move forward and build your routine. So would you say, how many steps do you have in your routine
now? I have two options. I have the quick routine and I have the long routine. So like I can do it quickly, but I'd love not to. So I can do a long one. So I'd say like for the quick one, 5. Yeah. For the long one, maybe 10.
10-step skincare routine, Jackie, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that is exactly, I think what I struggle with for someone that now has 2 kids is that I'm doing the quick one most of the time because I'm really tired at the end of the day or in the morning. I have no time. Like my needs are kind of last, unfortunately and truthfully. And so you're just like, go, go, go.
Yeah.
And so for someone that's like a religious double cleanser, I've been neglecting the double cleanse. So I'm more on the simple pared down routine, but it seems like 5 is actually, for some people out there watching, they're going to be like, 5 is too much even for them.
Yeah, it's a lot. I think that it also depends on, for me, the reason why I am so obsessed with it is because it was my lifeline. Like skincare saved my life. When I experienced my postpartum depression, it was the reason I was like, you have to pick one thing that's going to be about you. And I chose skincare. For other people, it's working out, whatever. For me, it was skincare. So this connection that I have to it, I will sometimes do my skincare routine for the day at 5 p.m. It doesn't matter what time it is, it's happening. So I think that's why that like 5 steps or 10 steps, I just fit it where I can.
I think a lot of people see skincare as self-care. So
for sure.
Your experience is mirroring a lot of what I experienced as well. Because even for me, after I gave birth to Kennedy, I kind of lost myself and I felt like this new role was so overwhelming and daunting. And then it's like, let me actually get my time back. And then it started with skincare again. But I almost had to like fall in love with skincare again and just give myself grace and give myself the time to have me time. And sometimes 10 steps allowed me to like be in the bathroom alone by myself for 30 minutes.
That's it.
Yeah. And so it kind of gave my sanity back. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the changes that women experience when they get pregnant. So 90% of your body will change.
Yeah.
And it'll take a few years for you to kind of get it back to. But some of the common things that people experience include pigmentation, so melasma, also the line down your stomach. That takes about 1 or 2 years to get rid of, or sometimes it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
So there's...
Never knew that.
Yeah.
Experience to that.
And there's acne, which you experience. Acne is a tough one because a lot of the treatments that you would normally use to treat it are not available for you. There's redness, broken capillaries. There's also hair changes, like you lose a lot of hair. A lot of people don't know that, by the way.
So they lose their hair?
Yeah, one time I was at a salon and I was like, oh, I have a lot of baby hairs because I lost my hair after having a baby. And they're like, you lose your hair and this is like a... Yeah, and I was like, he's been a hairstylist for like over 10 years. I'm like, wow. Also, you have stretch marks.
Yeah.
So we get a fun basket of awesome changes.
Cute makeover.
And I just wanted to give some quick, fast tips for people who are watching, who are about to go on their pregnancy journey or are in it now and just want to get some advice. When it comes to acne, people freak out because once they're pregnant, they are going to clean out their routine and their stash and be like, what can I use? What can I not use? You cannot use BHAs, salicylic acid. You can't use tretinoin. What you can do in place of that is tea tree oil or azelaic acid. Have you ever used azelaic acid?
I haven't, but I did use tea tree oil.
Yeah, those are more gentler forms and they can be effective in treating acne. When it comes to stretch marks, a lot of people ask about this. Did you end up getting any stretch marks?
All over my butt.
Oh.
All over my butt.
Did you use a lot of creams and did you...
Oh, I did everything. But it was
in anticipation, right?
Yeah. Okay. To try and prevent
your butt.
Everything.
Oh, wow.
Everything.
You're really diligent.
But I just was so nervous about it happening, but that's the thing. It doesn't matter. Like, it happens anyway.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of this is genetic. So I don't know if you've asked your mom.
I did. And like, she told me, she was like, you can keep doing that, but you're going to get them anyway.
She's a wise woman.
And I was like, no, I'm not.
Does she have them on their butt?
She has on her stomach. She has on her butt. Okay. She also had 3 kids, and it was also different,
Right.
you know, the
Right.
access to what she was using. But she was like, you are going to have stretch marks around, and it's just genetically going to happen to you with our skin. And I was like, no, I'm not.
No matter how many creams you put on, although it can help soothe your skin, because a lot of times when your elastic and your collagen are being stretched, it creates that dry, itchy feeling.
Yes.
Well, the creams that you put on your skin will help soothe that and make it less itchy and dry. However, you may not escape having stretch marks.
Yeah.
And sometimes it'll be really red and it'll be really prominent, but then with time it can fade.
I didn't know I had them until maybe I was like 6 months postpartum, because my butt got really big.
No.
I know that sounds like a flex. It wasn't, but like I was very thin before I got pregnant and my butt got huge. And so as I shrank back to my size, I was like, oh my God, I have these. I didn't know I had them.
Yeah, so I think, but it's so important because I think there's a lot of product out there that honestly says like, stretch marks will be fine, and you just have to be a little bit realistic that
it could happen.
That it could happen,
Yeah, it can
even
happen.
though you're really good. I use a lot of jojoba oil. There's a brand called Dr. Orga that has like the cold pressed jojoba oil, which I love. I drenched my whole body with it. I didn't get stretch marks, but when I asked my mom, she didn't really get that many stretch marks. So could I credit all the skincare that I did? But it definitely helped. Obviously, my stomach ballooned to up to here.
Yeah.
So it definitely helped, just moisturize. Moisturizing is always good for your skin.
Absolutely. And it's also nice to do the self-care, take care of yourself. But at the same time, realistically, it could still happen. Same with hair, though.
Yes.
Same with hair loss.
Let's talk about hair loss. That's another huge change that actually is still affecting me to this day.
Yeah, well.
Well, after you have a baby, I don't know if you know this, but one of the great surprises that happen after you give birth is around the 3-month to 4-month mark, you can lose a lot of hair. So when you're showering, you start to notice like your normal hair loss that you get, just from natural shedding is like triple that amount.
So if you're pregnant, enjoy.
I know, because
Enjoy that luscious hair that you have, because
your hair doesn't fall out during that time, the 9 months.
I had 2 rounds of balding, okay? Like 3-4 months, everything fell out. Then again, around 8 months, everything fell. Yes. So bad. I went down a lot of rabbit holes. It will grow back. It will grow back.
It will grow back.
Like
It's scary in the beginning.
It is really scary. It's really scary. It's really annoying. It all comes back in crazy ways, and you lose it from all different kinds of places. But there's nothing you can do to prevent that from happening. All you can do is make sure that you take care of your hair so when it grows in, it's healthy. But you can't force it to grow back faster.
Pigmentation / melasma. That's also very hormonal driven. So it's genetic. And honestly, when you have melasma, no brightening ingredients will fix that. You can use vitamin C. So that is one of my favorite ingredients because you could use it all throughout your life, through any journey. No matter what age group you're in, no matter what life stage you're in, vitamin C is always good. But it's always a chemical exfoliant like lactic acid, glycolic acid that help brighten your skin that you should hold off until after you're done with your pregnancy and breastfeeding. So did you strip away glycolic and lactic or any of these agents?
Yes, I took everything out. And I think that was also part of why I broke out so much. And also I had a lot of dark spots and all of the things because I was using all those kind of things, and harsh ones, very harsh ones.
What I love about Korean beauty is that there's a lot of brightening ingredients that actually are natural. So licorice root extract is one of my favorite natural brighteners. So it's an Acwell toner, one of my favorite toners.
Yeah.
The Then I Met You Living Sea Cleansing Tonic has licorice extracts.
That's my favorite Korean skincare ingredient. Licorice. Yeah.
For the brightening?
For brightening. And I also just feel like it really does even out my skin tone. Any product that I'm like, this one I'll add to my routine forever, it always has licorice in it.
I realize you're like a K-beauty expert.
I'm not.
Well, let's talk hobby. Layering, actually, because layering is a big part of Korean beauty, because just for people who are new to the multi-step, like kind of toner routine, like you just, after cleansing, you would apply it several layers of the same toner all over your face, neck, and décolleté, and your just skin is so dewy as a result.
Juicy skin.
Yes, juicy skin.
Juicy skin.
It makes all your other products and your makeup look better.
Everything looks better.
Yeah.
Everything looks better.
So do you have any special technique or products that you use in the toning category, other than the miracle toner that you talked about, which helps with acne?
Yeah, the Acwell licorice root toner, those two, I pair together, and
You do 1 layer, 4 layers?
2 layers of both.
And then do you wait in between your steps?
Sometimes not. Like if it's a rush day, I'll put them all on. I know that you're supposed to wait always, but like sometimes I'm just like, it's better to do it than to not. But I try and take my time, you know?
Not really. I don't personally wait, and I think it's okay. It's kind of different. People have different methods, but for me, I feel like, especially when you apply things topically, it's like when you drink water and then you drink coffee and you eat a snack, it's like all going into one place.
Yeah.
So this is like similar, like just slap it on.
Slap it on.
In Korea, they're always about patting it gently into your skin and not really tugging and pulling.
Yeah.
You know, like there's some people who are really aggressive with it, and then if you're always doing that motion up and down, then you're gonna eventually form wrinkles. So in Korea, they're just always like gentle with it, like treating their skin like a fragile egg.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's another I mean, all the things like the tapping, just everything being liquid form for the most part, I love it.
Yeah.
Because this is one of my favorite things.
And also the circulation, you know, the tapping.
It makes me feel like in the morning to pour and just, and in my videos, people are always like, oh my God, the way you're slapping yourself. I'm like, I'm not. Yeah. This is how we do it. No, wakes you up. Feels amazing.
Amazing. Okay. And so after your toning step, and then you do moisturizer and sunscreen, do you use like exclusively Korean sunscreens, or are you just like, what is your sunscreen?
For the most part, Korean sunscreens, just because I find them to be so much lighter on the skin. They give an actual glow, so I don't have to wear anything else. And I find that they never break me out.
Yeah.
But sometimes I will interchange with other ones that are tinted that aren't Korean sunscreens.
Right. Got it. So that's great. So you have such a well thought out routine. You know what works for you. I think that's most important. And it's also part of your self-care routine, which is so awesome. Yes. Your partner, is he like now into your routine? Because like, I mean, he must see all the products. He's like, wait a minute, do you kind of try to get him into it? Or
I don't have time for that. I'm sorry. I'm always like, you can have a routine. You're welcome to use any of these things. He's just like, I don't know what goes together. But he will sometimes come to me on like a Friday night and he's like, can you do a sheet mask on me? And I'm like, okay. And then I make him lay down and I do it. And I like it. You know, I like taking care of him and like helping him to feel more confident. And I like that he's into it. But also, my husband is French. So if I start pampering him and give him too much, he's going to take. He needs to be able to do it by himself.
When your community talks to you about feeling lost, or even for you, you've expressed that during our conversation that you've once felt lost and skincare brought you back. Like, do you have any words of advice for those that feel like they've lost themselves?
Yeah, I think that losing yourself is part of finding yourself in a new chapter. I believe that the losing of self is a necessary step to redefine yourself as a mom, because you are never going to be the same person you were before you had your child. Originally, that made me really sad. And I think I spent a lot of time trying to go backwards
and grieve a little bit.
Grieve, of course, because there's things that just will never be the same. And I think the minute that I started to embrace that was amazing. And that brought me here. But the only way I will truly find this freedom and joy that I'm looking for is when I start to find where she is, this new version, you know?
Shedding your old
skin. Yeah, letting go and just knowing that there are things that are fundamental about you that will always exist. It's just the way you do them or how you integrate them into your new life is always going to look different because you're a different person. And that's the beauty of it all.
And it's okay to grieve.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I talk about that a lot. Letting go of her, saying goodbye, all the things. It's important. I always think like whatever age you are when you have your child, imagine how many years you lived as one version of yourself and now you're reborn. It's going to be hard. It takes time.
And there's going to be a new chapter when our kids are grown up.
Oh my God, I know, right?
I have to shed some tears.
I think about that all the time. Like, wow, one day you're going to leave. That's so crazy.
You're going to have time to do a 50-step routine.
Exactly.
I honestly feel that most people I talk to that have had kids later on in life, like when I had my first kid, I was 35. I really felt like I had postpartum depression because I felt like I kind of had my 20s and up to mid 30s where I felt very comfortable, happy about my situation, and then having this like kind of new thing happen and being forced to redefine myself was the part that made it challenging, because I was like, I had so many great memories of my early 20s.
Totally.
And then seeing that change. But then I think if I had kids earlier, maybe I wouldn't have seen such a shift.
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't have been so stuck in my ways.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of
I know. I think it's always hard because then I talk to people who are younger and they feel differently. And I think that there is never the right time. Yeah. But I relate to you so much because I had Jazz when I was 33. And I was like, I've lived so many years as this person. Yes, selfish, but also like super career oriented, very much could split my time well between everyone, knew how to set boundaries. And now I just felt like cracked open. How was I ever going to manage all the things again? They don't really know why you experience PPD. I just think for me, it was that control thing. I felt so out of control and for so many years was really in control. And so I think it can create that really tough transitional period. Yeah. Did you experience it both times?
No, just the first time. Everyone asks, like, is it harder going 0 to 1 or 1 to 2? Yeah. And it's definitely 0 to 1 because you're just like exposed to all these new things.
That makes me feel so much.
Yeah.
Because I really believe that for myself too. I relate to that. And I think that that's really the case. So, wow, thank you.
Yeah, no, yeah. Everyone has their different answer, but for me, 100% 0 to 1 was the hardest. Because you're just going through a lot mentally, I think.
Absolutely.
But yeah, overall, I think we're doing great. Yeah. I mean, I think we both love being moms. I just think that it's a great part of the journey. And I'm glad that I have 2 kids, you know? So.
Yeah, that's the part. Yeah. Like for me too, I'm like the chaos that I had in my life pre-mom me, it was just chaos. But this chaos is so purposeful. Yeah. And there's a part of that I enjoy so much because it's so satisfying to overcome. And there's it's not just me like, what's going on? I'm like, no, I have to figure this out because it's for him or it's for me to be better. And I believe that when we take amazing care of ourselves is only when we can take amazing care of other people in our life.
So you put the oxygen mask on yourself and then you can help others. Mm-hmm. And that's skincare for us.
Yeah. And that's honestly my tip to moms. Be a selfish mom. You have to be a selfish mom. Because the more that you are selfish, the more that you take care of yourself is the only way you can take care of somebody else. And sometimes it's one little drop a day and sometimes it's a bucket. But what you have to do one thing for you every day. You have to, because it will create for you to feel autonomous and then be able to give more.
Thanks so much for coming. Thank you so much for having me.
I feel like we had very similar experiences, but I hope that this video can help everyone that's watching here. Please follow Amanda on her TikTok and Instagram because she is always having these kind of conversations with your community and just sharing your day, your real day as a mom. I think that it's really important to be honest about these feelings.
Agreed.
And I think it's also great to share what brings us joy. Just skincare, in our case, Korean skincare. And so it's so cool to feel like you're a kindred spirit.
Absolutely. I love it.
And I love, by the way, love the mom community. Mom community is awesome. Mm-hmm. I know this is a very kind of in-depth discussion about motherhood. If you have any questions about it, please let us know. I hope you learned a little bit about how your skin can possibly change when you're pregnant or going through breastfeeding and pregnancy. If you have any comments that can give us tips or anyone else watching your tips, please do write that down below. All right, until next time.
Bye.